All right, so we're going to look at some stoichiometry problems and give you some more examples to look at if you're having trouble. So the big thing you need to remember is you need to remember our game plan. So you're going to be given grams of given, or you're going to be given moles of given. So every problem is going to give you one of these two, either grams or moles. And then you're going to be asked to convert that to, it's not a very good square, to the moles of wanted, or you're going to be asked to convert that to grams of wanted. And as long as you have a balanced equation, you can be given grams or moles of any reactant or product, and you can convert that to grams or moles of anything else in the chemical reaction. So let's look at this problem. Determine the moles of oxygen needed to react with 2 grams of sulfur. So what are we given? We're given 2 grams of sulfur. So we're starting here. 2.00 grams of sulfur. And what do we want to find? We want to find moles of oxygen. So this is our wanted. So look, here's moles of oxygen. So we want to find moles of oxygen. So this is going to take 2 steps. All right. And what do we use to go from grams to moles? Well, to go from grams to moles, we're going to use the molar mass of our given. And then to convert between moles, remember we use the coefficients. So this is what you need to know in order to do these problems. So let's make our first fence post. So whatever we're given always goes in the upper left. So we have 2 grams of sulfur. And this first thing, we want to go from grams of sulfur. So if we start with grams of sulfur goes here. And we're going to put moles of sulfur here. And look, I did do something wrong. Sulfur in this form it's got a subscript of 8. So we want to figure out in 1 mole of sulfur, how many grams are there? So we have 8 times 32.07. So 8 times 3 is 240. So it's somewhere around like 256. So let me put it into my calculator here. 256.56. So that's our molar mass. So 256.56. So if we stopped here, we would end up with moles of sulfur, but we want moles of oxygen. So we add another fence post to this. So if moles of sulfur is here, moles of sulfur goes here, and we want to go to moles of oxygen. And remember, oxygen's formula is O2. And when we go from moles given to moles wanted, we use the coefficient. So we look up here. So there's no coefficient written, but it's understood that sulfur's coefficient is 1, and oxygen's coefficient is 12. All right, so we multiply the top, we divide by the bottom. So grams of sulfur cancels out, moles of sulfur cancels out. We're left with moles of oxygen. So our answer is going to be moles of oxygen. So we have 2 times 1 times 12 equals 24. Divided by, on the bottom, we have 256.56 times 1. So basically, we have 24 divided by 256.56, and that equals 0.09, and we need 3 figs. 0.35 moles of oxygen. So this was a gram to mole problem.